How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the No Empty Seats podcast. I hope you're doing well. Hope finals are going well. And today we're going to be talking about um, how no feeling is final. And it's really important to make sure that whatever you're feeling right now, no matter how good or how bad, it is never permanent. And it's really easy to feel like this is going to be a reality forever. But so many things can change. And it's really important to be mindful about retracting and backing up and realizing how far you've come, how much you've changed in a good way, and things like that. But yeah, I think the reason I've been feeling this way is because I've been pretty stressed out with finals, right? Taking some physics classes and bio classes, doing some research, and it can be a lot. You know what I mean? And I remember a couple quotes from my friends, couple pieces of advice from my friends that have been telling me these things during really stressful times. And the first thing was when I was going through a lot during sophomore spring or freshman spring, my buddy Sam, shout out Sam, he said at Bible study, he was like, it's important to remember it's not always going to be like this. It's not always going to be like this. And he was in the midst of, like major interviews for finance companies. And, that meant a lot to me. It was really interesting and insightful to realize, like, I don't know, I feel like this has been my life. Whenever I'm in the heat of exams, or whether I'm going through a really, really hard time. And then it'll always be like this. And I don't know why our brain just does that. On that same vein, my buddy Mac, over the summer, I was just having a really, really bad day one day. Some personal things were going on, and Mac was saying, what I need to remind myself is, however I'm feeling the past couple hours, for some reason, in his head dictates how he's been feeling the past couple weeks or months. And that's just completely a lie. Your mind is lying to you about these things. And it's so important to be able to back up and be like, okay, I'm doing well. I've gone this far in school. I have so many people that love me. I've accomplished these things that mean so much to me. I've made myself happy, my parents and the people I love happy. I've come a long way, and it's not always going to be like this. And I think I've applied this in a lot of different contexts. But I think the main thing just really comes down to, like, each school year, I just always feel the same way with exams. I have these waves with my own mental health of, like, oh my God, I don't know if I can get through this. That's reflecting back on senior year, about to graduate from Brown as, pre-med physics major. It's not easy, right? And there have been so many semesters where I've been like, I don't think I can get through this. I don't know how I'll be able to do this again. And all I can say is, like, looking back on this and realizing, what I've been able to get through. And I don't want to be a victim anyway. I don't want to play that complex at all. I just am so relieved and so proud that I gotta, keep pushing. And that just makes it all the more worth it. But you just have to remind yourself, like, anything that feels like the end of the world just isn't going to be the end of the world. I can promise you that. And freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, even in high school and middle school, so many things felt like they were the end of the world, right? Like, I remember, and I think an important way to realize, to give yourself this grace is, I don't spite myself or get mad at myself or I'm embarrassed by this at all. But in middle school, I remember I was cripplingly anxious about sitting at the lunch table in middle school. Worried about like who I was sitting with, if I was sitting with enough people, like worrying about like popularity and stuff like that. I was so anxious about that. And I like lost sleep. I asked mom not to go to school. There were some periods where there was no lunch, and I was so excited for those days, and I wasn't excited for the other days. And I allow myself that grace that felt like the end of the world. But the most important thing is realizing, oh my God, that is cake to me now. That doesn't even cross my mind. In freshman year, I was worried about who I was sitting with in high school. And freshman year, I was worried about who I was sitting with in college. And then eventually those things grow and you learn to, grow up. And maybe this sounds goofy, as a 21-year-old, right? Realizing that you get more comfortable with different social settings and being able to adapt and things like that. But I don't know. I think about that. I think about the specific, like I said, the specific classes that felt like they were the absolute end of the world for me. And then, of course, they never end up being that way. All I just think about is just relief to be able to have grown, learn something from that, realize how far away that is from me, I guess. Like, I guess what I implore is, like, really maybe grab a journal or go for a walk and just start thinking a little bit about what felt like it was the end of the world for you only a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, a couple years ago. And just reflect on how more comfortable you feel in those situations, what you've learned from that, maybe the relief of being done with it. But when people ask me like what mindfulness is, I really think it's this kind of thing. The idea that you can, it's so hard, especially, being in your own head or really struggling with these mental illnesses. But to be able to change your perspective is so, so important. And I know some of you that are listening to this might not feel like you have grown a lot. But I don't think, there are so many different ways that you might have adapted. Whether you might not feel like you're doing it successfully, now you're living away from home, which is such an accomplishment. You're being able to maybe pay your own bills, work a job, make your own food, make your own friends without the social circle you were growing up with for 18 years. And that's a really important thing too. I think maybe people get so down on themselves because they feel like what they're doing right now isn't a good job, right? They aren't succeeding. But what you need to remind yourself is whatever you're doing right now, struggling or not, would be a dream of your younger self. And if you don't respect that or anything, then that's not respecting your younger self who probably thinks the world of future you or any adult. Like, for example, I wasn't sure about, pursuing medical school, and, looking down the line, I had a graduating high school. I was like, I don't know if I could do all this. And if I could talk to my older self back then and be like, oh my God, you did all these requirements. Oh my God, you made such amazing friends that you wouldn't trade for the world that you know are surefire going to be at your wedding and be your best men and be your groomsmen. That's such a blessing. And I'm trying to remind myself that now. I don't know how passionate I am about, say, being a NASA engineer or something like that. But imagine sitting right now as a college student looking on and be like, oh my God, if I was a NASA engineer, but it was really stressful, but I was trying to save the world or try to solve life's problems and work on sustainability and for find new planets and make these amazing discoveries, but it was really stressful, but I did it, and I'm working on it. That's such a cool dream. And I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is, no matter how much or how well or how good I was doing no matter how well or good I'm doing in college, the fact that I kept going and I kept elevating the bar is so impressive to my younger self. And that's so impressive to me now, whatever I do in the future. And I want to keep making those dreams and set those goals for myself. I guess what I'm saying to wrap up, I know this is a quick episode, so I apologize, is you really are doing everything you're dreaming of. You need to take this step back and realize, how far you've come, and really take a step back and look at the things that mattered to you, that absolutely consumed your days a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, a couple of years ago, that now feel like second nature to you. You need to remember you're doing right now the things you used to dream of doing. And no matter how hard those things might be, you're still getting through it. And you're going to get through it just like you have before. Just like you've gone through these hard patches. Even if it might feel like this is the hardest one, you're going to get through it. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Please take some time out of your day to put things into perspective. But yeah, I want to say that I want to say that times have been hard. Just reflecting on this episode, I think I'm happy to get this out. I got my run in and things like that. And yeah, I hope things are well. What's up? How you doing? Good to see you, bro. Just film a video real quick. Have a good day. And yeah. I think I'm a little, just reflecting on this episode, feeling a little flustered a little bit. It doesn't feel like I've got an episode out in a while, but still got one out every week, which I'm proud of. Got my run in, which was nice. I think I'm a little flustered because a lot of people were walking by, which kind of got a little stressful. Because I feel goofy, you know what I mean? I feel goofy filming these episodes, but I don't know, it matters. All this stuff matters. And then, I don't know, a lot has happened between the exams and stuff like that. I had a bio exam, I had a final paper, got to study for some other stuff for next week. And we did lead Josiah's, which is cool. So anyone that doesn't go to Brown, to anyone that doesn't go to Brown, we turned Josiah's, our late night dining hall, into like Italian restaurant, which was so funny. We had menus, put tablecloths, we had like 20 or 30 servers that came in, they dressed up. They had aprons. They were grating cheese and pouring water. It was so funny. So I guess maybe that's why I'm a little stressed or flustered. It's been a long week. But honestly, I'm more than grateful to get this episode out. Everything's going to be okay. And I hope you feel that way too. The holidays are coming. And I'm proud of you. Someone's doing better because of you. Look how beautiful this red is. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. It's all right. Yeah, everything's going to be a good day. Hope you take care of yourself and be good.